All right, guys, what is going on? It's your boy Cole back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to what am I saying? I'm gonna be showing you guys how to master a drop spot. Might seem difficult, but it's really a lot easier than you think. Let's get right into it. Let's go. I'm gonna break this video down into 3 steps. It should be 3 simple steps. First step is going to be choosing your drop. Second step is going to be dropping for your drop, actually getting good drops and creating a drop map for yourself. And the third step is going to be fighting at your drop. And these are the 3 main things that you need to be able to make sure that your drops are going to be super efficient. You're going to be winning the all spawn as much as possible, which is going to allow you to get the best tournament results or results in anything that you want in this game, because Fortnite is very drop based and everyone knows that. All right, so I'm going to mute this just so you guys don't have to hear the annoying flying in sounds. But basically, look, I don't know if you guys just want to win an arena game, or if you guys want to win a public match, or you guys want to win a tourney, or what your goals are. But at the end of the day, your goals do not matter when it comes to winning your drop spot, because your drop spot is everything in this game. And it really is everything. And I mean that. In competitive, at the highest level it is, at the lowest level it is. It's just winning your off spawn and winning the fight at where you choose to land is super important. And it really does decide the outcome of your game. How quickly you can win it, how fast it takes, how long the fight takes could absolutely ruin your game in any game mode going forward. I'm going to talk to you guys like I'm a competitive player, because I think obviously the competitive people would know the best way to master your drop spot, and this is going to help you no matter what level you're at. If you're brand new to the game, or you're mediocre, you're not that great, this will help you as well. I'm going to explain it in a super simple way, I think. Okay, so first things first, where do you want to land? So I'm landing Shifty right now at the moment, because Shifty is a great spot that's pretty center map, and any with the rotates from there aren't bad. The furthest that first zone could be if I land Shifty is like right around here. Like, you can make this big of a circle down here. You're really not going to have to go that far, as opposed to if you land Logjam Lumberyard, or if you land here, whatever this little bridge is, and zone pulls here, like that's quite the hike. You see what I'm saying? So for me, if I choose to land Shifty, it's so I have better rotates. One of the benefits of Shifty right now is that if you're uncontested and there's no one on you, or if you finish your fight fast, you can still get good metal. It's really not that good of a spot. I enjoy the center map benefits that a lot of other places don't have, and a place like Sleepy, which is significantly better than Shifty, it's a little bit worse rotates because it's further outside on the map. A lot better loot. It has a lot more going on, probably a lot more opportunity to get quick metal. It's just a really good spot, and I think somewhere like it's all these places are underrated. I'm not going to go through every spot on the map. It's up to you. Like, if you want to land somewhere that has a lot of metal, pick somewhere that has a lot of metal, like fast metal, especially for competitive. Like, you need that, and some places don't have good metal. If you want to land somewhere center map, your rotates will be a bit better, but you might have to sacrifice some loot for it, or you have to fight more people. If you want to land somewhere edge map, like Chonker Speedway, or like Chonker Speedway, I believe has some of the best loot in the entire game. Good metal, and it's edge map, so the rotates could be up to here and far, which could hurt you for surge if you're competitive. The point is, you want to pick a spot that you want and stick with it and never leave no matter what. And I think that's the biggest thing in comp that people don't understand. If you want to alpha a spot, you want to own somewhere, you want people to know your name from that spot, you cannot leave no matter what. And obviously, take that from me. You guys have been watching my streams or anything in the recent times, like, you know, that's how it is. That's how you have to run it. All right, so I know a place that has a lot of coolers, or at least from what I've heard, is Chonker Speedway, so we're just gonna head over there. You guys don't know, this is a cooler in this game. Obviously, you can search it, or you can just break it, and they can give you 2, I believe up to 4 chug splashes in one cooler. And a place like Chonkers and other places on the map have a lot. I choose to land Shifty for the center map privilege, that I get better rotates, and I get some, you know, there's less contention at Shifty, because there probably won't be, it doesn't have as crazy of loot. The loot's good, don't get me wrong, but a place like Chonkers has just so many coolers, it's actually crazy. And this is only a section of it. Like, from what I've heard, like, look, I just got 4 from that, bunch more. Like, I'm just looting this little section right here. You have pepper spawns, which are, again, I believe there's 0 pepper spawns in Shifty. I could correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say there's none. All this fast metal, I just got 8 splashes in about 2 seconds, and there's more pepper spawns. Point is, the loot here is pretty unreal, and it's pretty all over the place. So you could choose to land a spot like this edge map and get a ton of loot. It all just depends on what you want to do, and I think picking the best spot for you and understanding the benefits of being edge map and the benefits to being middle map are very important. So that's all, like I said, it's up to you guys. Once you guys pick your drop spot, we'll just get to the next spot, or the next section. After you choose your drop, you want to make a drop map for your spot. And even if you don't make a drop map, the goal for you should be to not necessarily make a drop map. Like I said, you don't need one. It could just be by memory. I've only ever had 1 drop map, and that's because Class made it for me this season, because he's like the best teammate ever. But realistically, for those of you guys who don't know what a drop map is, it looks something like this: lootlake.info. And then once you have the map like this, say for example, you wanted to land at Rocky Reels. Say the billboard's the drop spot you want to aim for. You want to aim for billboard because it gives you the high ground over every single thing on the map. And every single time it basically comes down to whoever gets the gun first, and whoever gets the gun first usually wins the fight. So your goal is to get that gun first. So what you want to do, you know what's up. You know the chest spawns. You can do anything on this website. If you guys don't know Loot Lake, it's incredible. Chest spawns, full loot ammo. It shows you literally everything on the entire map. You want to go into arena basically, or anything. If you have customs, you can put in your custom and do a solo custom with yourself. I unfortunately do not anymore. I lost my code a while ago. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. You want to go into customs basically, and you want to attempt to get the best drop spot no matter where the bus is. So let's just say our target is right here. We know that that's the drop target right there. Say your bus comes in from something like this. It comes in from Conyo. Comes in from Condo Canyon, and it goes to Shifty. So it's like it's like that type of bus. So you kind of want to drop around here in this water. So your goal would be to land and attempt to get the best drop here. And then you would go in this, we'd have this website up on a different screen or somewhere, or after the game you do it, and you go, okay, you mark it for yourself in game. You say, okay, I want to land right here. Say your drop was a little too low. So now if your mark was here, you would just put your mark here next time and you get a little closer, and then you hit the perfect drop. So you just leave your marker there. It takes a couple hours of playing. Say you have customs, you just keep queuing solo customs, or if you don't, you just keep going to solo games, solo arena, getting your drop down. By the end of it, it should look something like this. Okay, now that's good enough. Obviously, don't take this drop map. Don't take my word for it. This is me basing it off what I would assume is close. Like a drop like this is probably horrible realistically, but the entire point of this drop map is just so you guys can understand that, like, every single time one of your markers is a little off, maybe put a new marker on the map and then mark that when you come into the game, depending on where the bus goes, and kind of figure out the exact route that you can take to make this drop perfect every single time, and you will have a much larger success rate winning fights. So right now, if you were to go Shifty, for example, if you watch my scrims on stream, Class kind of shoots for the top of the mountain as of right now, and it could change depending on the game, depending on who we're fighting, depending on what's happening. It's all circumstantial, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Class currently lands for the top of the mountain right here, and I currently land for Railroad, which is right here. So he has a drop map with markers all around this mountain that guarantee him the best drop on top, so he can get the gun first. And I have a drop map that marks me to right here, which kind of has drops around this whole thing of Shifty that get me to right here every time perfectly. And you know, when they're a little bit off, like I said, say for example this drop map is a little bit off, like say you get a little too low, back it up, or move it a little bit forward, you know what I mean, or you're a little too high, back it up a little bit, and you might have a better drop next time. And once you figure this out, should only take you a few hours realistically, and it is something that if you really care about, this will help you. If you don't care about it, like I said, this is the first time I've ever personally used a drop map this season, because I usually go off memory. I've landed Caddy off memory, Corny, like we kind of knew the area to drop in, and it became like just keep attempting to get the best drop, make sure you're fully focused every time. And one thing you guys need to realize, no matter what you're on, and this might sound like a little controller whiny, you know, thing, the keyboard, because of the way you drop, when you're moving, you're just holding W the whole time, right? You are pressing W the entire time, and you're not pressing A and D. If you're on keyboard, do not press A and D. I cannot stress that enough. If you're pressing A and D, you're messing up your drop. You want to be shooting as straight as possible, the least amount of glider pulls, and you just want to be holding W and looking in a straight line. You don't want to move your mouse. You want to set up and don't move, because every single time you press A or D, or you move your mouse to the side, you are losing momentum, you're slowing yourself down, and you're going lower unintentionally. And that goes for controller. I know a lot of controller players who drop in on keyboard because it's way easier to just hold W. On controller, this might seem weird, but it's a lot harder. On controller, basically, this is your left stick, and you want to be holding your left stick as up and straight as possible. The second your controller slips out of this perfectly straight position to like here, or even like slight switches, you are going to be dropping. See, your body's going to turn, and you're going to be dropping significantly slower. So if you're in a controller, make sure you are holding it forward and not touching. Don't move your thumb at all. If you're someone who has a habit of moving their thumb, you got to learn how to work it out, or you can drop on keyboard, or you're just, you know, sometimes you're just not gonna have the best drop, which is fine. But at the end of the day, the team with the best drops is going to ultimately win the majority of the time, and that's just how the game goes. It's how the game works. It's how the game has always worked, and that's why dropping is so important in this game. So now that you guys know how to drop, pick a drop map, and you know how to pick your spot, sort of, the third tip I'd give you guys to know how to fight your drop. In my eyes, the best building here, while it may look like Burger Town, right? Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chests there, as you can see, 6 and 4, 10 chests in Burger Town. The center building is somewhere I've always landed. There's 6 chests in a small vicinity, very small. Like right here, if you want to get all these chests, you kind of got to run through the whole building. It might take a while. Now imagine that you're playing a tournament and there's one other team landing there with you. You land Greasy and there's one team here, and you know there's 6 chests here. And the beauty of not just the chest, look here, ready? Is there coolers? Coolers. Now look at that. Now doesn't that change the entire scene? Someone might see this and say, hey, there's 10 chests here and 6 chests here. This is the best building. Let's land Burger Town. But in my eyes, I see 5 coolers and 6 chests. Now, knowing that these coolers can drop up to 4 chug splashes, you could have 2 full stacks of chug splashes after this, along with the loot you get in a close vicinity. So say you're fighting and you keep dropping here and your teammate goes here or something, gets these chests, you get all Burger Town. Your opponent gets this, and then they push you and kill you. A bad teammate or a bad player or someone who's inexperienced might be like, okay, that's just their strategy. Like say you're fighting the same, this is if you're fighting the same team, for example. The point is, what I'm about to tell you guys is how to outplay your opponent and how to think 1 step ahead or 2 steps ahead of them at all times. Because you don't want to be doing the same thing every time. But again, if you have the drop map and you have it set up to where you're going to get the best drop every time, you can land for what you want. Ideally, you land for what you want, you get the best drop for that spot. On like for Greasy, for me, it would be here. So I would have, and there's a chest spawn here and there's an AR spawn here, like a floor loot spawn. So ideally, you probably want to be dropping for the floor loot spawn, because if you get that, then the guy who gets the chest loses. So you want to have a drop map set for this corner, where the floor loot is, right here. Oh my god. Well, some of these are inside, obviously. Some of them are on top. There's one floor loot spawn on top with a chest. I know that. I'm taking this off. So you have the drop map to here, and you say, hey, you want your duo, because it's duos right now, to land at this house, for example, but you want to land here. So he has to get a drop map for here. You have to get a drop map for here. And then once you have that drop map, you can secure your drops. Then teams will start pulling off and saying, okay, well, what do I want? And maybe they go here. Maybe they both double up here and you guys rush them really quick. You have all the splashes, all the shield in the world, and you guys win that fight super fast. The point is, when someone kills you, it should be a learning experience. When you lose, you want to learn from your losses, and I think people still don't do that to this day. If you ever watch my stream, me and class are very particular about learning from how we lose fights, and if we lose fights, we really try to figure out why we lost them and don't really complain as much as we should, probably, or as much as a lot of people do. Point is, when you have your drops mastered and you're winning the fights, it's great. But what they might do next is say, okay, well, since we're double landing here and you're double landing here at these 2 houses and you're winning the fights, pushing them, maybe they're gonna go, okay, well, this isn't worth it. One of them's gonna land here and one of them's gonna land here, so they have a pinch on this guy, and then maybe they start winning the fights. And then what you might do is you go, okay, instead of pushing here or just looting and getting in the open, you want to back up to here and get a different angle and full 50-50 them, or maybe you 2 wrap left to get an angle on this guy and not put yourself in this pinch of 2 players. The point is, the best thing you can do is learn how to outplay your opponents and fight depending on what you know that they do and how they do, and land where you think you can have the best spot to win. In pubs and arena, it's not going to matter as much. Ultimately, having a drop map and landing where you want is just the best way to fight on spawn. But I'd say that's ultimately how to master a drop. It's really not that difficult. It's pretty simple. It's a little bit of work depending on how high of a level you want to be or how hard you want to work. A lot of it comes down to your drop. I'd say 90% of it, and the rest of it comes down to fighting and learning from your mistakes. And if you lose fights, blame it on yourself and figure out why you can improve, and don't say it's the game, and you will improve. You will see results significantly faster, and that's how we go about it. I do this on stream a lot with class. We kind of argue back and forth about what we could have done better, what we should have done better, how we feel. We're very open and communicative with each other, which is good, and I think that's good in a duo or for yourself. Sometimes hardest to bring it to yourself that you're doing something wrong. When you can admit that you're doing something wrong, that's when you'll start to see true improvement, and I really do believe that. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this, and just for more content in general. We're about to be popping them out in 2020. Hope you had a great holiday. Peace, guys.